Hey everyone! So today's sketchbook session video is extremely unorganized. This is the 5th time I'm filming the intro, and that's not an exaggerated number, unfortunately. So I'm actually done filling all the pages in my sketchbook. I managed to fill 5 of them. And yeah, the intro I filmed a month ago for this video just isn't working for me anymore. I think I got a little bit better at talking on camera since then. So I'm refilming the intro, and yeah. Anyways, today's video is actually really exciting for me to finally be done and like sharing, putting out there. It's a collaboration with my friend SwiftBricks, who has a Lego channel. It's also been in the works since like June, I think, but I'm so late at filming it that we delayed it all the way till now. Anyways, basically we sent each other gift boxes or like mystery boxes full of stuff that we like. So for me, that's basically just art supplies. And for Swift, I made her a mystery box full of like Harry Potter things, Lego things, and other pointy things. So if you'd like to see what I picked out for SwiftBricks, please go check out her video. I'll have it linked in the description and in the iCard over here. Anyways, my initial reaction, unfortunately, to opening the mystery packages, I think mystery package is a better term. Mystery box is like box, and these were packages. Okay, I'm going off track. Anyways, my initial reaction was kind of embarrassing. Like, I just don't know how to express myself on camera. Like, when I know I'm being filmed, I act super weird sometimes and like stiff. So, yeah, I will not be showing, well, my voice for that portion. I will show the unboxing part or like the unpackaging part of this video, but I'll be voiceovering my reaction on top of it. Okay, so I'm unboxing right now and voiceovering my thoughts, I guess. For this first product, I was actually really shocked to see it. Like, this was the thing that surprised me the most. It's the Neocolor Aquarelle by this brand that I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce. So I've seen those wax water-soluble crayons on Amazon before, but I never would have even thought to buy them for myself, which is like quite obviously a mistake because they're amazing. So I'm so thankful she picked them out for me. I was missing out for sure. So the second art supply that I was bestowed with is, well, something that I struggled with like crazy as a 14-year-old. So I was really nervous when I took it out. As you could see by my hand gestures a bit, I was like, oh, charcoal. It's made by Derwent, and I won't spoil whether or not I've changed in 6 years or not. Third thing is the Oil Pastels by Pentel Art, and this really made me excited. The color palette, like the color selection is just gorgeous. And again, I don't want to spoil how they work, but I was, oh wow, I was like shaking them around. I was really happy. Also, I was excited about the charcoal as well. So I don't think I stated that correctly before. I was nervous, but I was excited because it meant like trying something that I failed at before when I was younger. And speaking of past failures, these fine liner pens were absolutely amazing. I know I'm spoiling the rest of the video, but like they're honestly so good. I had a lot of fun with them, and I definitely needed them because all my fine liners are either dead or like really poor quality. So the next thing, I had to take like a double take, and I absolutely love these. The Maynard Sour Patch Kids fueled me for this entire video, and I'm ashamed to say that I'm finished an entire pack already, and a half, an entire pack and a half, all gone in a month. And the Crayola chalk was supposed to be a joke, but I thought it was adorable, and I won't spoil whether or not I use them. This video is so unorganized and confusing for me right now, but I think you just watched me unbox everything. Here's everything all over again. I'm actually really happy that this page, like this spread here, is messed up because it means it means I get to cover it up with different types of paper, which means I'll get to try all these out on a couple of different paper types and see which paper type works best, I guess. With that being said, I guess I can finally start experimenting on this page. I'm going to like unpack everything, not on time lapse, but then I'm gonna have to put my phone on time lapse for the experimenting part, just for storage space purposes. This is the moment of truth when I open this up for the first time. Whoa, this is so fancy. These colors look so vibrant in person. Like, it looks even more vibrant than the cover. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I love this color already. Okay, next is the charcoal. Oh, it comes in a tin. I really like that. I don't like it when it doesn't come in a tin because my pencil holder is already full. Okay, so this is the next item, and I have to be honest, I actually already used these. So in my defense, I just really needed fine liners. Like, I think it's for a page I posted on my Instagram. I seriously needed fine liners, and all my fine liners were used up. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna use this. No one's gonna know. Possibly one of the best Amazon fine liners I've ever used, and better than the old Sharpie fine liners I used to use. Next is the Oil Pastel set, which I'm extremely excited for, which is why I saved it for last. So I actually wasn't expecting this brand, the Oil Pastel, Pentel Arts Oil Pastels. I don't know if I already mentioned this in my voiceover reaction, but I kind of hinted that I wanted oil pastels. So yeah, I kind of cheated at the whole mystery box thing. Oh, they're so much tinier than I thought they would be. These colors are amazing. They're so cute. I can't wait to use this. Anyways, I'm seriously excited to try all these out. I'm gonna go into time-lapse mode now. Even though I really wish I could just do it in real time, it would probably be way more fun to watch that way. Like swatching everything out in real time and like commenting on it real time. I'm gonna have to get like a proper camera for that. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it simple for myself, to be honest, and like just do time-lapse stuff and voiceover. So the first thing I did was fill the page with pieces of like scrap paper that I had laying around. And yeah, I went in with the charcoals first. They smudge a lot, which is normal. So this prepared me to like varnish the charcoal drawings, which I do later on. Now, the Neocolor Wax Pastels were insanely good. So much that I had to write "whoa" on the page. They're so smooth, they blend super easily, and when water is added, they dilute really well. I think dilute is the correct word. But yeah, I had to get used to not adding too much water, because too much water and it looks kind of ugly like over there. For the oil pastels, they're really good. They bring like a really nice texture. They're not as buttery smooth as the Neocolors, but that's totally fine. Like, I love both so much. I actually love the oil pastels more than I thought I would. Anyways, right here I'm painting an eye, painting, drainting. Yeah, I'm making an eye because that's what I do when I have no other ideas and don't feel like being creative. So yeah, just an eye there. I don't really like how it turned out because it got too muddy with the water, but it's okay. I had fun and I didn't completely kill it off. Anyway, this is when I was done like testing out things. Like, I feel like that eye over there on the left bottom corner was just like a test. This is when I wanted to create something not boring. So I drew this face that I saw on Pinterest. It had some like really vibrant, crazy lighting. And then I drew a coffee grinder, like a really old-fashioned Turkish coffee grinder on that page over there. And around this time, it was actually Eid al-Adha. If you don't know, Eid is a celebration that we celebrate in Ziku! Oh my god, he's so rude. So I guess Ziku is like the Grinch for Eid. Anyways, Eid is an Islamic celebration, and it just so happened to be when I was drawing this page, so I wanted to include a little something there. So yeah, after doing those stars and that face on the side, I did this other thing. It was this coffee cup with a coffee plant coming out of it. I know, it's all like coffee themed because I was still like warming up a bit and trying to come up with some ideas that wouldn't be too complex, because a lot of the art supplies I was gifted were really like meant to be used loosely, and Swift told me that she did this on purpose so that I would loosen up and not try and make everything perfect, which I really appreciate. It was really fun. So I had to kill off the skull over there because it was kind of ruining the Eid mood of this page. I don't know, it just felt out of place. So instead I drew this adorable sheep. I'm gonna put the reference photo I used on the screen, and I'd like you guys to let me know, is this sheep creepy or cute? Because my siblings are convinced it's creepy and I think it's adorable. So at this point, I was done the sketching for these 2 pages, and for 2 of the sketches, I lined them using the new pens, but I wanted to experiment not using any line art at all for like some of the stuff and using colored pencil line art for other stuff. I'm so bad at explaining, but yeah, I also put a layer of watercolor. Like I really wanted to go the mixed media route with this page. Now, unfortunately, I overworked the pink eye over there. It got really dark and kind of looks like creepy now. That wasn't my intention though. I wanted it to look just normal. But I learned to control myself with the oil pastels and to not get too dark and smudgy, especially with the black. Also, I feel like the watercolor layer underneath was a really good idea. Like it worked super well with the oil pastels because it just blended easier, and I didn't have to worry about white spaces underneath each color, which allowed me to like put less layers and keep things not as muddy. So in the next page, I believe I used the oil pastels without the watercolor, and there's definitely a big difference, but it still looks pretty nice. For the face on the upper corner that I'm working on right now, I used only the Neocolors, and it was a lot of fun. They're so blendable and nice to use dry. I didn't wet the portrait afterwards, I just kept it like this. And I definitely prefer using the Neocolors dry like this, but I do experiment adding water to them later on. For this last one over here, I lined it using the colored pencil because I like that method better than the fine liners. I just don't think that fine liners went really well with them in my experience. The colored pencil was amazing with them though because it blended in super nicely and like almost disappeared in some areas. Anyways, using the oil pastels on their own with no watercolor underneath was really nice on this toned paper. It blended super well, like it's really smooth but also textured in some areas where I let it be textured. So in my opinion, from my experience so far, I feel like the toned paper is the best for the oil pastels. So this is when I varnish the page, or like try to. Now, before adding this varnish, I already knew that oil pastels never truly dry and it's hard to find a varnish that actually works for them. This varnish doesn't really work for them. It just, it adds a nice shine and it makes the Neocolor stuff permanent, but the oil pastels are still like moldable. Like if you press hard on the page or scratch it with your finger, it will definitely come off. But at least it doesn't smudge anymore. So especially the charcoal on the top over there definitely doesn't smudge anymore, and I'm happy with that, to be honest. So I could still use these in my sketchbook and not be too scared. But just in case, I added some wax paper because I really didn't want to risk these drawings. I'm kind of attached to them. I really like how they turned out, and yeah. on to the next page. So as you could probably guess, I use primarily these charcoal pencils on this page, but I also use my normal pencil just to give me a little bit of confidence. It was not really necessary though, because the charcoal erases so well. I was shocked. Also, the mechanical pencil actually harms the charcoal in a way. Like it can't work together that well. Any part that has like pencil, it's hard to draw over it with the charcoal. Like the charcoal refuses to grip the paper, I think. I don't know what the term is, but yeah. Anyways, needless to say, I had a ton of fun with these charcoal pencils, and I really like how this drawing turned out specifically. Like, this is my favorite thing that I drew with the charcoal so far. I'm definitely going to be using these charcoals way more often. It's so easy to use, and just like one smudge of the finger completes all the shading for you. Like, it's so convenient. Here's me flexing about my Sour Patch Kids, and yeah, on to the next sketch. Again, as I was saying previously before I got distracted, these work so good. The shading is so easy. I don't know how on earth I hated them as a kid, because from what I remember, it was super messy, but I think I was just messy. Like, it wasn't the charcoal, it was me. One swipe of the kneaded eraser takes out all the smudge in the surrounding area, but I actually experimented smudging the area on purpose, and I like how that turned out as well. Anyways, here I'm drawing a hand, and I don't really like how this hand turned out that much, and I end up just leaving it as a pencil sketch. So yeah, it doesn't really get completed with charcoal, but actually looking over the footage right now after completing this all, I think it would have looked nicer if I like committed to it and went over it with charcoal. I was just being lazy because there's so many details in this hand, and I want to get better at charcoal to the point where I could do like super detailed stuff like a hand like that with all the wrinkles and shading and whatnot. I'm definitely going to use these charcoals a lot more often, and I'm going to try doing some like anatomy practice with them. It's really good for like value studies, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a blast. I know I said it like 20 times, but I was really shocked with this page at how much fun I was having with just black and white, because I'm addicted to color. So a huge thank you to Swift for choosing these for me. This is definitely the main art supply in this gift mystery box that I would have never picked for myself, because I had this like clouded, biased opinion of 14-year-old me in my head telling me that I would hate charcoals. So yeah, this was a really lovely surprise. I had a lot of fun, and I want to practice a lot more with them. And yeah, especially on toned paper, it was really fun because the white charcoal pencil was really useful on the toned paper. So basically, anytime I mess up in my sketchbook, I'll just put some toned paper on top and do some charcoal practice maybe. But it also works great on the normal like white paper. So this is the final spread over here, and I had probably the most fun on this spread, I think. I'm so indecisive. Why did I even bring that up? Like, now I have to argue with myself. Anyways, on this page, on this first page, I wanted to make a very, very simple landscape. So not too many colors, not too many tiny objects. So I found this reference photo on Pinterest, and I went in with Oil Pastels and the Neocolors. So the Neocolors I used to make the mountain and to make it like super smoky and like have a nice blue tint to it that I wouldn't be able to like get with just oil pastels. And then I went over it with a black oil pastel. For the grass though and the trees, I went in just with oil pastels, no watercolor layer underneath, and it gave it a really nice texture that was suitable for the grass. And yeah, I like the contrasting textures between the grass area and the mountains. Like, because the mountains are so pale or like smoky, I guess, it looks like it's farther in the distance compared to the more textured grass. Also, I wanted to point out that the color selection for the Pentel art set is really, really good. The only complaint that I have is a purely selfish one, which is there's not enough green in my opinion. I would have liked some more earthy greens, but I'm just being silly. It's perfect, and I liked mixing my own earth green tones anyways. It was a good use of the like ochre colors and the yellows. It was good color mixing practice, to be honest. Also, like, it's more than enough colors to do almost anything in my opinion. I'm definitely going to experiment with them a lot more because they're so easy to use. And like, it's such a quick medium in my opinion, kind of like the charcoal. It covers a large area and it doesn't have to be perfectly detailed. It's just impressionistic in a way, if that's even a word, if I'm pronouncing that word right. But yeah, anyways, on to the sketching. I sketched these three girls from Pinterest. So the one with the fox is really overused, I think. Like, I think a billion people have redrawn that girl, but I wanted to do it anyways in my own style because I love foxes, and the fox was really fun to draw out there. I also drew the bucket hat hijabi, that's what I've named her. I drew her again, and I also drew the girl with the beanie again as well. The purpose of this page was to push the fine liners as much as possible, so I wanted tons of detail, and I didn't want to limit myself to using oil pastels, which would mean that I would have to make things big and chunky. So yeah, also the oil pastels didn't work with the pens anyways. Now, it's been a really long while since I've used fine liners. I think I mentioned it in my previous video. I love using colored pencils to do line art, specifically because they give a nice color and they blend in really well with most art supplies. They also add a really nice texture. Wait, sorry, that's my dad's hand.
Pinch your nose, pinch your nose. Pinch it, pinch that nose.
Okay, where was I? Texture. Yeah, that's why I like colored pencils a lot. They add a nice texture, lots of colors, and yeah, but I really enjoyed using these fine liners after so long of just using colored pencils, because they get so much detail. That's the one main drawback in my opinion of colored pencils. You have to constantly sharpen the pencil, and my pencils that I use, Prismacolors, I personally can't get sharp lines with them. They always break, so I always have like a textured kind of thick line art when using them. With the pens though, the lines were all like super clean, all the details were there, and as you can see, I'm using markers on the page. It was really fun using fine liners with markers. I don't think I've really done that before. Surprisingly, most people use fine liners with markers, but in my experience I usually use colored pencils. But yeah, it was really fun, and it was so easy. Like, it made it so simple. I didn't have to like worry about anything. Like, once the liner was done, everything was like calm and peaceful and fun. But yeah, now the thing I'm kind of concerned about is that it did smudge a little bit, but only a really tiny bit, and I think it might be the pencil, not the pen. I don't think I erased properly in some areas, because everywhere else didn't smudge at all. So yeah, that's something to maybe look out for. I think I need to try it again and see if that happens. Overall though, I had so much fun with these art supplies. Thank you so much, Swift. This was the most fun I've ever had in my sketchbook, I think. Like, these 5 pages single-handedly were more fun than the rest of my entire sketchbook so far. I'm definitely going to be using them like crazy for the rest of the sketchbook. I actually have plans to use markers more often, and then use the destroyed second side of the paper to put some toned paper and use my charcoals. So it's a working system. Anyways, if you'd like to see what I surprised SwiftBricks with, please go check out her video and subscribe to her channel while you're at it. Her videos are really fun, and I love watching her creations with Lego and reviews on Lego stuff. Also, her Harry Potter set collection is just insane. Like, it's to die for. And I love her modifications on some of the official sets. She definitely improved them, and it's so cool to watch. Anyways, that's all I have to ramble about for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you so much for watching this far. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you sketched anything along with this sketchbook session video. I'm curious to know, and if you want, tag me on Instagram and I'll definitely share my stories. Next video I'm planning to have up hopefully in 1 week, just like this one. Like I want to do it weekly until September, since September I'm gonna stop making videos. But of course, as usual, I can't really promise it will be out in exactly a week. So I'll see you guys in the next something. Bye!